Mega Man powered up.
So hello, good evening, I'm Wes, the Explosion, and this isn't the right file, hang on. I should have had this set up beforehand, but I thought it'd be easy. Anyway, hello, I'm Wes, the Explosion, and tonight we're playing Mega Man Powered Up. Specifically, with Oil Man. Because fate is a cruel, cruel mistress. This should be the right file because... Don't I have one of the other Mega Man? It's not important. We'll try normal at least for the first stage, although I can't promise anything after that. I think they read this so I don't need to. I can talk over it. I thought Robot Masters were supposed to space their name apart. It was supposed to be Oil first name and then Man second name, not Oil Man. Good evening, Big Red. And Oil Man, he feels he's kind of a fart of a character. Oy, oy, oy. Probably rather would play X5 tonight. So I kinda wish that was what we were doing. Play a 0, have a good time. Or X, I'm fine with either. Though it's been like ages since I played with X, I would need to remember how to get like the armor and everything. Or I could just get through the entire game with fourth armor. Fourth armor's pretty good.
Our friends are in trouble, Oil Man. Let's hurry to the lab.
Okay. Gonna hurry to the lab. Then Dr. Light's gonna talk, and then I could say my piece. Oh, man. Oh, wait, you forgot one. Please, don't leave me here with this. This... my greatest failure. Good evening, Rayquaza. I don't like it, much like I don't like you. But either you will save the world and get all of my robots back, or you will die in the process. And either way, I come out ahead. Thanks, Doc. Wait, what did you say on that last bit? Whee! Oh, no. Oh, no, my oil slick is over there. Oh, no. What an abject failure I am. Seriously, platforming's gonna be really important in this one. Because I cannot rely on my weapons. I'm gonna be a dodge machine. Okay. Proto Man I could unlock if I did all of the challenge levels. But I could also unlock Proto Man early if I downloaded like a DLC patch, right? And Roll, I can get like a bunch of special costumes for her if I download them. The problem is that Capcom took these downloads down. So that is no longer an option for me. But at some point I could probably look up and get like a ROM of this or something. I could emulate this game with the DLC. So that might be something I do sometime down the line. Everyone's going haywire. Oh no. Oh, you friends. You're very good friends. I can't beat any of these unless I do easy. But yeah, they were free, so I guess Capcom was really trying to promote this game, and it didn't take off. I'm not really sure why. I thought it was because... Oh, man. Oh. Oops, that's bad. Oh, man. But yeah, I thought it was because, like, the PSP didn't do all that well, but I guess the PSP did very well in Japan specifically. So that wouldn't have been it. And I've seen other people say that it might have been because the games were, like, I think somebody said something about the games maybe being easy to pirate, and then somebody, you know, else I saw point out that Mega Man might have been considered, like, you know, oh, that's a game for the Nintendo consoles. Oh. As for my moves, I can shoot out an oil slick. If I step on the oil slick, I will go rocketing ahead. Like right here. But I can only send out one oil slick at a time, which means that if I miss my shot, I either need to step on it and crash it into a wall, or... wait for it to fade. I wasn't facing that way, but good job, Oil Man. You colossal piece of shit. How do I get past this? How do I get past this? I need the hammer to move, but mine has no impact. Ay. And yeah, I'm not really sure why they took it off the store, because like you said, the store is still up. It might have had something to do with the fact that, like, the game has actual servers. How the hell did I do this before? I cannot overstate what a colossal failure Oil Man is. Okay. I could look up the video of how I did this last time. Ay. But yeah, since this one had a level editor, there was a server cost, so that might have been it. Anyway, hang on. Game footage, Oil Man. When did I do Oil Man? Let's just turn the sound down there. Oh, I already got past that part, I guess. Okay. Go ahead. Time Man. How did you do it, me? How did you do it? He's doing the same thing. What? It just randomly worked the one time. Oil Man, I hate you so damn much. Okay, I guess I wasn't precise enough. I swear that's what I did multiple times. You know what? Not gonna question it. I'm gonna question it a little bit. And Roll, to my knowledge, is DLC only. So unless I find somewhere to download it separate, like I'm sure somebody somewhere has like the save file that I could load up onto my memory card. But unless that, then no, I'd need to emulate specifically. Whoops. Oh, no. Oh, it already fell. I'm just gonna have to iframe my way through this. No two ways about it. Oh, yeah. Although I was thinking about... Because, Big Red, I remember you said about how... Some call me Johnny. I guess I guess he had a lot of trouble with Fireman in the network transmission game? So I was curious, so I ended up watching it. And yeah. While I agreed with like a lot of his points, that was like the one part of his entire review where I was just like, Fireman? Fireman was difficult, but it's been like so long since I played that game originally, I don't know if I had trouble with Fireman when I first played it either. But there was still something kind of funny to me about it.
Look at my watch. You're late. It's out of the question. Go home. I don't know nothing about that. You're not the boss of me. I do what I want when I want.
I mean, it might honestly be one of those things where, I might play certain games a little much. I need you to walk into that. Thank you. Oh, duh. Oh, duh. Oh, okay. Walk into it. I need you to walk into it. Walk into it. But yeah, I had like another one of those moments where I'm like, do I play some of these games too much? Because I just got done watching somebody play, like Shovel Knight for the first time. And they had a good bit of trouble with it. Making me question, it's like, how much trouble did I have the first time I played this? No! This game. At the very least, I'm pretty sure that when I played it, I screamed a lot less. I was not expecting one of my favorite platformers to elicit so much yelling. No! Okay. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take forever. Wow, of all the things to kill me, I knocked him into me with my oil slick. Maybe I'll try running into him once. I don't think... Maybe if I just skim his head. Although I swear this is like the dumbest. Absolutely dumbest. Again, maybe I should have watched a freaking video. Maybe a video would have told me the secret. Okay, that kind of worked. It still didn't do a lot, but it kind of... Oh my goodness. You need to get, like, really specific to hit him without hitting yourself. A weapon where you need to run into your enemy in a game with contact damage. That's so smart. Did it even do extra damage when I skimmed him? I'll need to watch it back. Ay, ay, ay. His random moments of invincibility. Yeah, that does like a little bit. I still don't think it's great, though. Maybe tonight will be the night where I finally learn how to use the oil slider. Slider, baby, baby. It probably won't be. I'm gonna have a terrible time. There's no two ways about it. Oh, good. It's the guy that Oil Man speak to. Ay, ay, ay. I think some of the smaller enemies I can, right? I'll try it here, right? Like, I think the idea is that if I make contact with them, I get hit. So with smaller enemies, the whole thing is they'll get hit with the front of my oil slider and they'll die. But if it's something that can take an actual hit, right? Then the oil slider will go, will crash into them and then I'll crash into them. Oh no. And when I crash into them, I take damage. This is a most ungood situation. Oh no. Oh no. And I don't think I can get off my oil slider is the other thing. So once I'm on, I'm pretty much stuck. No change in my mind. No being like, I've gone far enough. We don't need to lock in all that much. Again, this is easy mode. I want that, but I don't want to get lit on fire. I'm very flammable. I'm very combustible. I knew as soon as I was like, oh yeah. It was like in midair. It's like you're gonna get hit by that, and it's like I freaking know. Oil Man. He's got slippery feet, thus he takes a bunch of damage from, he gets a bunch of knockback because he's a slippery boy. Oh no. Oh, I hate him so much. I'm just gonna say it. Like anybody else, I would have made it through this. No problem, Oil Man. You are an ineffectual little prick. Some people like you. I don't get it, but some people do. I can't deny that. I think they're being contrarian. I think they're the same sort of person who probably likes frickin' Silver the Hedgehog and not Dunsparce. I can't even think of the stinking name. Stunfisk. No normal person likes Stunfisk. You're the Stunfisk of Mega Man. Oh, yoy. Some people like Stunfisk. I don't get it. Honestly, that was a little annoying just because it's like, Regional forms are in such stinking, limited quantities, right? Not everybody gets one, and then you gave it to frickin', the one that nobody asked for. It's no use! I don't know if that was a good impression. Damn it. Although that does remind me. Did everybody hear that there's a Sonic Justice League crossover? 'Cause there is. I read the first issue of it last night. And I'm gonna say it. Not terribly impressed. Which maybe that's a mean thing to say. But my gosh. Just feels like they're rushing to explain, like, everything. Like, they show up and, and I guess, like, to a degree it makes sense because how many characters do they have? Let's say about a half dozen characters on each side all needing a team up, and I guess they need to introduce each set of characters in a way so that if you're a Sonic fan just reading it for the first time, you can get right into it and, frickin' find out who stinking Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Cyborg are. And likewise, you flip it to the other side. Oh, Flash is there too. I guess there's 7 of them? But there's still something, like, kind of bizarre about it. Just like, oh no, Darkseid is showing up. We must fight him. Oh, well, now we've met up for the first time. Oh, Darkseid traveled here because of this dumb-ass DC reason. Oh, no. We're gonna have so much trouble here. And then as soon as you explain who Darkseid is, you just also need to explain really fast what a Chaos Emerald is. And then, my gosh, I don't know how much I wanna say, just in case anybody is greatly invested. There were just a few ridiculous scenes, I guess I'll say. Like, there was one, there was a Batman Shadow scene where it was just like, they're doing it again. Dear Lord, they're doing it again. Only not quite as impactful, so I'm not sure if it'll get memed quite as much. If you know, you know. Oh goodness. Oh no. Ay, ay, ay. The purple one, because I enjoy the color purple. That is my favorite Chaos Emerald, and there's no real deeper reason for it than that. I have no great attachment to any of them, truth be told. I mean, not any more than the other, I guess I should say. I shouldn't act that flippant, like, Chaos Emeralds are lame. It's just one of those, it's like, coloration is the only way that one's ever really endeared itself to me. Although, I suppose I definitely could be like, well, this one showed up in this one. My favorite Chaos Emerald is the gold one, because that is the one that Tails uses to trick the Eggman, and then Shadow gets it in Sonic X Shadow Generations. And it's pretty dope. But no. I'm ashamed to say there's no deeper reason other than I like the color purple. I think there's still spikes down there. Oh my goodness, I could have died. If only Oil Man would have died. I'm not wussing out and doing easy mode. I'm showing off. I'm showing off all the things that they do in easy mode. The accommodations for easy mode. That's what I'm doing. It's completely different than wussing out. Seriously, I have to do these levels like I don't know how many times. Because of all the different characters. I could definitely count. Oh no. Wait a sec, I was in Fireman's level. Did I get like the one thing that I specifically needed the... Huh. The oil slider for? It doesn't matter. I'm not making any stages anytime soon.
Warning! Reporting for duty. There's something dangerous up ahead, sir. Oh, freeze it at all costs, soldier.
You can't do that, man. Oil ain't something you can just
Hey, anything will freeze
take care of it.
if you get cold enough.
Understand. But I'm gonna finish my mission anyway.
I think.
Open free.
Probably. Oh, goodness. Sit on it. Oh, no. I thought I was the slippery Pete, but here he is. Oh, goodness. Get back. But yeah. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah. Because Rayquaza has posted some videos about it. It seems like the Pokemon scalping is still in full swing. Because yesterday they released a new TCG set. I went out to Target, they didn't have them. I went to my local comic book store, they didn't have them. And I asked the guy behind, like, I asked the guy at the comic book store, was like, hey, did you get any in? He's like, and I don't know, like, how would I describe his expression? Maybe not exactly, like, exasperated, but maybe that was part of it. He seemed like a little, like, he was a little upset about it. He's like, yeah, we barely got enough, like, they went like that, we barely had enough to fill in our pre-orders. Oh, and just in case anyone's not aware, the latest set was called Journey Together, and it's another one of those things where it's like, it's En's Reshiram. It's Hop's Zacian. It's Lily's Clefairy, that sort of thing. So yeah, like, I was a little interested in it. Well, we can talk about my own interest then. But yeah, I was, like, asking him, and he said about how he barely had, like, enough in to fill his pre-orders, and he was saying that, like, his pre-orders went like that. Although he was happy to say that the people who got pre-orders, they were all people who shopped in the comic book store pretty regularly. So it wasn't any jackass coming in and just being like, I'll take you just got him in, I'll take your entire stock. So at least that was, I mean, I guess I won't say nice, but, like, it was definitely the lesser of at least a few evils. I screwed that up. Yes, there we go. But yeah, I was, like, asking him, I was like, is it just this latest set, or has it been like that for a while? And he told me that it got kind of, like, weird with prismatic evolutions or something like that, which that might have been, I was thinking at the time, I couldn't quite place which set that was. I thought it might have been the Terapagos one, but I think that was actually, like, the Crazy Eevee one they did. Where, people were claiming some oddball things. I guess I can get back to that in a minute. There's like a lot of places this stupid dumbass conversation can go. But yeah, like the scalping thing is definitely like a lot of people are getting very, very upset, shall we say. Because Pokemon was advertising this set like a good bit, right? They had some nice little, you know, like new animations for it and everything, and yeah. I would say that they were proud of this one, right? But like the first one I saw, you know, I was going to the comments and I'm just like, maybe I'll make a sarcastic comment about how, because like when the pre-orders first went up, they immediately went off like the Pokemon Center. Like I think they immediately sold out. So I kind of wanted to leave a sarcastic conversation, you know, sarcastic comment about that. And then I saw like 2 other ones that beat me to it, and I was pretty early to it. Then anytime they put out another commercial for it, it was just people complaining about scalpers. And then yesterday, when they did, you know, like the launch trailer for it, it was people just complaining about scalpers again. One person was saying about how they called like 5 stores or whatever, and, you know, they were all immediately out. One person called it Happy Scalper Day, and, you know. Oy, oy, oy. Huh. I wanted the Lily stuff because I really like Sun and Moon, and I also really, really, really like Fairy-type Pokemon. But I kind of figured it was the end card.
Dr. Wily was right. You've been changed into a bad
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure what Pokemon can do per se. There's like, they have a lot of issues, and I will criticize them on it non-stop. But Scalpers, I'm not really sure what the solution is. If they print too many, you know, like too many of them so that it's like freaking worthless, right? Like nobody actually wants the, you know, like more than people want, then they could be left with dead stock, and that's like, that's no good. They're taking a risk that they don't necessarily have to. At the same time, though, if they do nothing, some people are gonna decide that they're done with Pokemon, you know? They're just gonna be like, why do I care so much about this series? They put out all this stuff, and there's never enough for me to buy. So they're kind of like, I'd say, damned either way. And it's also one of those things, like, you're weird, because, like, I think there are rules about resale. Sam would probably have a better idea than I would. He pays attention to law things. No! But it's kind of weird to say that you cannot sell, you know, like, resell something that belongs to you. Plus, like, with cards especially, because people sell, you know, like, the rare ones and everything. It'd be kind of weird if you were told you couldn't resell individual, you know, like, you couldn't scalp, you couldn't resell individual cards. Well, not individual packs of cards. But then you could find a loophole by just being like, well, then I'm just going to open it, and then I will sell N's Reshiram for $600 on its own. So, you know, I don't know. I'm not really sure, but I don't much care for scalpers. $16. Wow, that is... what are they normally? Like $5 at this point? So that's a bit of a markup. I mean, that helps, but that means the other problem with scalping, like, honestly, the best solution to scalping would be just nobody buys it, right? Like, if nobody buys the overpriced cards, then it doesn't matter. Then they'll be left with it. And da-da-da-da-da-da. But at the same time, can I just... I'm gonna try jumping. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think I lost my train of thought. I apologize. Let me think here. Oh, that's what I was gonna go for. The problem with that is everybody needs to pretty much, you know, like, stinking... unilaterally, everybody needs to agree that we're not buying scalper shit, right? And normally there's at least a few people that fuck this up and make it horrible for, you know, like, and just continue to make it profitable. It's like the same thing whenever there's like a video game boycott, you know? Like, remember when Dexit happened and everybody was like, well, you know, if you're doing this, that's poopy and we're not gonna buy the games anymore. And then people still bought the games and it's just like, well, that was a nice idea. Like, people say all the time that video game boycotts don't work, or at least some of the people I follow say that video game boycotts don't work, and they largely don't, and I feel like it's the same thing here. Where enough people are going to buy the overpriced shit that it'll continue to be worth it. I mean, personally, I wanted the set enough that I was gonna buy some cards, right? But I did not want the set enough that I would fight someone for it or overpay for it. But I don't know that everybody else is going to do the same. I think some people, like, given that people overpay for, you know, a lot of things, I think it'll probably still be worth it. I don't know. I remember asking, maybe he doesn't want me to, okay, I asked someone what they thought the solution to scalpers were, and they made a joke about, like, executing them, and I was like, yeah, that's, that would be it. That would be it, right? And it was one of those things that, you know, like, it's clearly a joke. I don't think that that's an executable offense. But I still wound up thinking about it more than I should. Because with enough money, you can get away with anything. So if anyone was going to get away with executing scalpers, the Pokemon Company could do it. And they wouldn't even need to do it to a lot of people. They just need to, you know, get a couple of the worst ones. And then everybody else would be like, oh shoot, maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe it isn't worth just ruining the times of people wanting to have fun. And most importantly, frickin' children. My gosh. You might be able to help me with this, Rayquaza, but like, I think there was one point where Magni was talking, you know, like way back, Magni was talking with someone about Pokemon cards. And he was, like, really into him for a while. Like, it was a story that he'd make, you know, like, a daily trip to Target or something like that just to buy Pokemon cards. And I remember somebody saying about how, like, the one day he went and he saw, like, these guys, you know, they were getting really, really into it. And, you know, he saw them and he's like, I don't really want to be one of these guys. Like, he felt like they were losers or something like that. And when I heard that, I was just like, well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily, I mean, I'm playing Mega Man right now, so obviously I don't think it's necessarily shameful to have like a childish hobby, right? I do think it's a little shameful if you're doing it at the expense of children, though. Hang on, let me read that. Like, there's definitely a difference between you just seeing some Pokemon cards and thinking, you know what, I will spend a couple bucks on them today, and you slapping it out of, like, a kid's hand. Like, the ones where it got really pathetic were when they were in the McDonald's Happy Meal toys and somebody was, like, buying 20 of the Happy Meals, throwing the food away. I'm sorry, I'm turning the light on. I should really do this before I start. But yeah, like, they bought 20 Happy Meals, threw the food away, and just took the cards. And it's just like, well, that is wrong on a few levels. Now there are no meals for the, not no meals, but no tag-alongs for the children, and you're also wasting food. Oy, oy, oy. And no, I didn't. I've seen... Oh, man, it's been like a while since I watched Mighty Keith, but I have seen him once or twice. If you want to post that on the Discord, I'll probably watch it later. Like, he has done some funny things. I would giggle. And I don't know, it seems to go in, like, waves, because that was the other thing that, you know, like, when I was talking to my comic book guy, I did ask, it was like, is this just the thing with, like, the latest release? Or then he said about the whole prismatic evolution thing. But yeah, like, there was a period where, like, you know, and it wasn't all that long ago, I swear, where I could just get Pokemon cards. It wasn't a big deal, right? Oh, man, oh. So I figure at some point the fervor will die down. Oh. And it'll be normal again, but who knows what'll set people off. But I'd like to think that it's not ruined. Although I'm still waiting to see... Do I need to... What am I doing? Why doesn't this work? I would... Nintendo is claiming that they're gonna make so many stinking Switch 2s that there won't be scalpers, so I guess we're gonna see shortly if things can just get overstocked to the point where, you know, it's not the biggest deal in the world. I'm really hoping I'll be able to get a Switch 2 at launch. And, like, Nintendo's also been, like, a little creative with scalpers in general. Because Alarmo, right? When Alarmo came out, they're just like, hey, you need to buy it through, like, the My Nintendo app, and it's one per customer. Which I'm sure there's still ways around that. But I've seen, you know, like, I kind of saw that as their way of being, like, you need to make an account, have a valid email, da-da-da-da-da-da, and then you can buy one. Which is a lot of work to sell one already overpriced alarm clock. And they also sold it in My Nintendo, you know, My Nintendo store, New York. Unique New York. So I guess that, you know, having them in a physical location would make it a bit easier, but still. Like, I do kind of feel like Nintendo, at least, is aware of these things. And given that Nintendo and the Pokemon Company work together a good bit, maybe one day they will be able to, you know, pass along if they actually figure this shit out. Although one thing, I want to say was the Moist Critical video that you linked, right? Like, the one thing that I've kind of wondered was in his video, he was showing, like, the scalpers as being kind of embarrassed about it, like they knew they were doing a shitty thing. But I don't know, like, some of the people, some of the scalpers that, like, I've been familiar with, it does feel like they kind of justify it in their own heads. And, you know, like, they come across as, like, almost entitled or like they're doing something that isn't shitty. Like, I think with PlayStation 5s, there was a Jimquisition video that they did where they were talking about how, like, some scalpers thought they got a bad rap and, like, you know, they acted like they were doing, like, a community service. Grabbing things for people, you know, that they didn't have a chance to grab themselves. And it's like, well, they didn't have a chance to grab it themselves because you frickin', you bought it before they could. You bought them all up, right? But, you know, like, they tried to kind of make it seem like, you know, we're not doing anything wrong. This is a legitimate form of business. And then Sam had his whole story when we were playing Octopath Traveler because it made it in the clip show, so I remember this. But he was saying about how he knew a guy who, was scalping things, and he tried to, like, justify it. He's like, well, people are only paying what they're willing to pay. There's nothing wrong with this. It's on them because they're, if they didn't have that money, they wouldn't give me the extra for it. Plus, like, I can't remember if I ever told the story of the one, scalper who called me when I was working in the liquor store, like, ages ago. I'm not sure if anybody is a bourbon head in here or anything. But there was this one bourbon that it did all right. It was called Blanton's. It was a little higher end. It had like a unique little gimmick because each bottle would have a horse on the top, and they were like in different poses to somehow symbolize like some of the different letters, right, of the name Blanton's. So like I could see people like collecting them and everything, right? But they weren't hard to get. Then I think like two things happened. One, Blanton's burned down their freaking warehouse. So all of a sudden it was very hard to get Blanton's in. And two, I think when it was in this kind of scarcity thing, somebody like reviewed the bourbon and they're like, oh, it's one of the best bourbons. So all of a sudden it became, it became not only hard to find, but also, like highly sought after, which is not a good combination. And all of a sudden it was like a complete pain in the ass to get. And one time I was like in the store and we got like a shipment of like the miniature Blanton's, right? 50 milliliter bottle, very teeny tiny. People say about how adorable they are, which I have some thoughts on, but that's neither here nor there. But we got them in, and we could transfer them to we could transfer bottles to other stores. People could call and request things. We were pretty good about that. But like the morning we got this in, somebody called, confirmed we had them, and then they're like, okay, well, I'm going to need you to send them, ship them all to this store in here. And I'm pretty sure the guy was a scalper. No two ways about it. I could be wrong. Maybe he just wanted a bunch to drink himself and then give the bottles to his daughter for her dollhouse. And then we hope that Ken isn't a mean drunk. But, he's like, I'm going to need you to ship them. And I'm like, well, we actually sell a good number of these things. And, it's highly sought after. So I think we'd be better off selling them here. So I'm going to, hold on to them. If they're still here in a week, you can, request the transfer then. And the guy got pretty peeved at me. I don't remember the whole of the conversation, but I do recall him, being like, what's your name? I'm going to call your, your district manager and all that. And I was like, well, my name's Wes. Chances are they were probably like, well, Wes who? And I was just like, if you call the district manager and say Wes who works at this store, they'll know who you're talking about. Wes is fine. Do not give your full name out to people who are pissed at you. Even I know that. And you know what happened? I never had a conversation with my district manager about that. Either they, they knew I was right and that no one would frickin' agree with them. And just was like, it's not worth making the call. Or they did call and then the district manager was like, well, they're absolutely right. I mean, we're not going to send those to you. I just ran right past that. But either way, that kind of ticked me off. Even a friend once who talked about, it wasn't large. I was about ready to fight this guy, though. It was a friend of mine. Friend of mine. We roomed together. He rented a space out to me and blah, 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 blah. So we spent a lot of time together. I'd say we were pretty close. We knew each other's, you know, like, quirks a good bit. But, you know, like, I guess he didn't realize how much this would tick me off, and I didn't realize that he would actually, like, do this, because this was when, I want to say it was the I'm gonna die. I knew it. But I think it was when, like, the SNES minis were, like, big. It was either the NES or the SNES, right? But I was saying about how, you know, like, it was really hard to get a hold of, and, you know, about how, like, scalpers were kind of taking advantage of the situation and making it worse. And he's like, well, if I just happened to walk into a store and there were one there, you know, like, I would definitely pick it up and then, like, sell it at a higher price. And I was like, no, man, no, that's, like, that's not cool, that's not okay, and da-da-da-da-da. And I think we went back and forth, like, a little bit. And there's a few things that I'm not willing to compromise on, and I think scalping is, like, one of them. Other ones are a bit more like what you'd expect. Rapist. I didn't want to actually say that word, damn it. Maybe I said it weird. Racist is what I wanted to say. People who, you know, like, harm children and the other non-consensual thing, like, those, I'm never gonna be like, well, maybe we should hear his side of the story. Which are, like I said, a bit more basic when it comes to that sort of thing. Scalping is probably the least offensive offense that I would just never, you know, like, not tolerate in, like, any... Well, I made it. Under any circumstances, but it gets me riled up. I collected amiibo. I have, you know, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be at work 9 to 5, and then you get home and it's like, oh, at like 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, like 2 o'clock this afternoon, they put Jigglypuff up on stinking, you know, up on the website, and it immediately sold out because you were earning a fucking living, so that somebody who doesn't could take advantage of you. It's a pet peeve. It's a pet peeve. But we can probably move on from that. Because, my goodness, I swear I've spent, like, most of it just complaining about freaking scalpers. Whoops. Of course, some of this is on the... Okay, I guess I'll say this, and then some of it's on the companies themselves. Nintendo could have definitely made more amiibo and more, you know, mini consoles. Which makes me glad that they seem to be doing something now, but it's still one of those that went on for a long time. I don't think I even talked about the stinking Direct, come to think of it. We talked about it like a little... We made mention of things in Discord. Whoops. But yeah, like, the Direct was a lot... There was a lot more to it than I was expecting. I'll give them that. Like, I thought it was, and it's so weird to me, like, the timing of it. Because I think we're all, like, I think the Switch 2 is supposed to come out this year, right? Oh man. I had iframes, bitch. But, like, I think at least one of the games that they announced, I want to say Rhythm Heaven, I heard somebody mention that was announced for next year. Which I guess it's not all that crazy. I mean, you know, like, there's been consoles before where, you know, like, heck, Mega Man games, like, used to... Like, I think the Super Nintendo was out when at least Mega Man 6 came out, right? So sometimes you do just, you use the old console because it has the bigger install base. Or maybe you were just, you wanted it to be released earlier, before, like, the dev kits were released for the newer consoles, right? You're just like, well, we've been working on this for the Switch. Might as well continue to work on it for the Switch. I won. I can't believe it. I won. But with its backwards compatibility, that should mean that anything on the Switch, you know, on the Switch should also work for the most part on Switch too. I need to ask Brandon because I know I just need to see if he saw it, because he's like, actually, he really loves Rhythm Heaven, so I know he's going to be excited about that. He probably already saw it. I honestly kind of wanted to send him a text and being like, did you see the news? But I was worried if I sent him a text like that, he would think that it was something worse. He's like, who died, or like, who attacked us, you know what I mean? So I didn't. I do need to ask him, though. But yeah. Metroid Prime, I'm still not sure if I'm going to pick it up or not. I need to see if I like 3 or not. But there was something like, I almost made a short out of this, but it was coming across as too bitchy. But I was thinking of doing a short, right? Where I kind of poked fun at the fact that you get the Metroid Prime 4 trailer, right? And they show some, like, establishing shots and everything, and it's like, oh, this beautiful, beautiful planet that you will get to explore now in Metroid the Prime 4, right? Ah. Oh, man. But then, like, the thing that they do after that was stinking, you know, like, the first actual gameplay they showed was the stinking scan visor. And call me crazy, I don't think anybody's playing Metroid Prime specifically for the scan visor, you know what I mean? Pretty much what I was going to go with for the you know, trailer, if I would have gone with it, would have just been like, yeah, it's a good tool. The scan visor does, you know, like, a good job of dropping hints for the player, giving you lore. I knew it. And giving context for some of the stuff you're doing, right? Like, I think it's a good inclusion. But let's be real. What people are actually playing Metroid Prime 4 are going to be, you know, are going to be the combat, are going to be like the new gimmick, that sort of thing. So just starting off with, and here's all the reading you need to do, just struck me as, like, really weird. Like, you know, like, burying the lead, I don't know what you want to say. My point is, I had a short in mind for it, and then I just didn't because it was like, this is just coming off too bitchy. Like, you watch the entire direct, it was pretty good. But the only thing you're gonna focus on is that they didn't lay out the one commercial in, you know, the way that you thought was optimal. You know what I mean? So I kind of scrapped it. I don't want to come off as a bitchy person, even though I can be a little bitchy. Yeah. Although one of the other things that, my gosh, it really, really bothered me was the same thing that always happened where there were people whining about Silk Song. Oh. He understands. So, you know, like, it was no surprise. That's what I was, oh god, expecting, right? The thing that kind of did get me, though, was then people were also, like, there was also some people whining in the chat about, like, you know, oh, Deltarune. Clamoring for that. And it's like, I have not gotten around to playing stinking Hollow Knight. So it's a bit easier for me to hate on that. But I actually do quite like Undertale and Deltarune. So now having that stank on it, well, I don't much care for it. It'll release when it's released. I say as if I don't bring up Rockman Tyson, but I don't bring up Rockman Tyson when other people are trying to show off their work, right? I don't hustle into the Monster Hunter presentation and be like, that's cool and all, Capcom, but where's Rockman Tyson? You know, that game that never even got announced that we just saw a leak for? Uh-oh. My oil's over there. Why aren't you telling us about the thing you never told us about that we're not supposed to know about? Good lord, this is boring. But I say this every time. But yeah, like the big one, though, I'm very excited about, and it feels so dumb. But at the same time, it's something to look forward to. Why haven't I offed myself yet? Because maybe at some point, I want to play Legend ZA, right? And maybe at some point, there's going to be some other games I want to play. So as dumb as it seems to be, be like, I can't wait until I get to watch the commercials, I am very much looking forward to the Switch 2 commercials. I want to see what's on it. I could even do a video predicting. Actually, there's an idea. Predicting what they're going to show off on Wednesday. Do I want... No, I don't. Although I feel like I wouldn't actually say anything that anybody else hasn't already been saying, which... That's kind of like a thing that... I don't know. I don't know if you want to say that I'm bad at it or what. But you know. Like, I'll watch a video, and then I won't leave a comment because I feel like I don't have anything clever to say, or someone will leave me a comment, and I don't have any clever responses to it, so I just won't say anything, because I'm kind of, like... I'm of, like, the mindset of, if it's like, if you don't have anything, anything productive to say or interesting to say, then just be quiet. Which I kind of feel like, especially with social media, is a bad mindset to have. Because one, if it's something you like, even if you don't have anything clever to say, that's still engagement, which is good. I mean, on my videos, there's been a few times I've gotten somebody, like, posting a comment who's like... Comment for the algorithm, and it's just like, well, thank you. You know what? Thank you. Oh, man, I had to do something really stupid with this. But and two, like, there's also one of those where you just want to be like, hey, good job, buddy, you did, just kind words, you know what I mean? And it's like, even if somebody, even if it's been said like a dozen times before you've gotten there, only so many ways you can say, way to go, it's still, like, a nice thing to say. Where was I going with this? I don't know. I guess that I should just sometimes post things even if other people are already doing it. Sometimes it's just fun. Like, honestly, that might not have been a bad idea for... Okay. Like, I guess a bit of a preview. I got the rough sketch together for the, the avatar that I'm thinking of using, right? Oh, man, he hit me. But I didn't want to make that just a video in and of itself because, you know, like, not everyone's gonna care. Plus, like, it's not the final design or anything. So acting like it's that big of a deal, it just doesn't... It doesn't feel like enough for its own video. So I did the thing that... Whoops. I did the thing that, like, you happened to mention, Rayquaza, and, you know, like, I fiddled around with the inspiration tab, mostly just so I could make fun of some of its oddball ideas. And it's like, well, this will be a filler thing, and then at the end, I'll actually show off what I actually want to show off. Which I did want to ask, since you were the one who brought it up, if you are still listening, did you wish for a shout out since you were the one who suggested, you know, like, you brought up the whole inspiration tab and explained it to me? Because I could do it in the video, I could do it in the description, like, you tell me. But yeah, oh yeah. Although there's still something that feels a little icky about it, because it is, even if I'm making fun of it, it is still like AI. Then again, I think it is fine that I do it because you know, it's very clearly, you know, one of the people getting ripped, their ideas ripped off with this one is me. Since some of the videos sound very similar to things that I've already done. Some of the video ideas. Whee! Oh no. So, I mean, I guess you can't get in trouble from stealing from yourself. Actually, I do feel like that's probably something that some people have done to... But that's for, like, insurance fraud. That's not important. Either way, it'll just be a dumb little throwaway video, and then next week I can do something different. Maybe I'll discuss the different sets of numbers for, like, the Robot Master line. Maybe I'll do a Donkey Kong Country review. Maybe I'll finally get the Mega Man Battle Network 6 review together. Or I'll talk about some of the weirdness with the, you know, the timeline differences between Mega Man X and Maverick Hunter X. Since maybe this is just my own unique interpretation, but I feel kind of like Maverick Hunter is a bit darker than just standard Mega Man X. The series where they dropped an entire colony on the Earth and made it inhospitable. Darker than that. Oh my gosh, Oil Man, you suck. How did I do this before? Just like the entire game. I mean, I guess I'm not having too much trouble getting through it. I don't like it. Stop jumping so much. Please. I need some stability in my life, and you being on the floor is part of that stability. Ah. My gosh. Of course, throwing in an oddball idea like the whole, I don't know. A week after doing nothing but shorts felt a little weird. Oh my gosh, you couldn't walk into that for me? Oh my gosh. Why does he suck? But yeah, beyond that, I played a little bit of Billy Hatcher today. I still do not care for it. There we go. Don't know if I've explained this. I feel like I brought it up quite a few times, especially while playing Fire Emblem for whatever frickin' reason. But, you know, like, the disc that I got used was really scratched, so I feel compelled to play through it just to make sure that the disc works and that, like, World 5 doesn't just randomly, you know, crash the game. But, I gotta play through, I gotta finish it so I can stop needing to bring it up. So I stop feeling compelled where it's just like, well, that's what I'm doing. Like, honestly, I could talk about other things. I am on the final chapter of Stinkin' Fire Emblem, which might be a more appropriate topic when we play Fire Emblem. How did you not take damage from that? I crashed into you, meaning my oil slider should have hit. Just see if we can cycle him. Oh, God. I thought we could. Oh, God. Oh, God. I somehow hit him with my back. Like, honestly, I just want to make sure I have time before finishing Fire Emblem, because, you know, I don't think the final mission will take long, but I believe the final cutscene will. And I want to just be able to sit back and, you know, and take it all in. Take it all in. But yeah, I feel like that's been, you know, that has taken me longer than, whoops, longer than it should have. Although I was playing hard mode, and I don't know. Sometimes I like doing that, and sometimes I just want more of a chill time. So I kind of needed to be in the mood for it whenever I did it. Oh, damn you. I think we lose here. I think I lose the entire game here because Oil Man doesn't know how to attack properly. I don't even know how, like, did he get knocked back? I'll watch it. Yeah, I knew it. I don't even think it's worth continuing. Criticize me. That was a little fast, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was horrible. Oh, wait, I didn't want the player select. I wanted the save. Oy. Do I want the autosave? Maybe. I don't know. I like being in control of saves. I don't think that's too crazy. Sometimes you save scum things. I don't really think that would make much sense here, but you could. Sometimes you just... I mean, I guess save scumming is the main thing. Or sometimes you just want to fiddle around with something, test it out, you know, test something out without, like, locking it in and being like, this is my loadout now. Other than accidentally deleting your entire save because you slide, you know, you put it in the wrong slot. I can't think of too many reasons you probably want to save scum in this one. Well, you know, why autosave would not be a good thing in this one. I still can't believe I frickin' did that with classic mode. That drives me frickin', It makes me a little peeved. Oh, no. I could probably reach the other one from down lower there, right? Yeah, probably. It did feel like I was getting through this a little fast, so you know what? I mean, that's not good. I just want to be done with this. Honestly, like, I think any other character I have fun with, Not Oil Man, though. Oil Man is the worst. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Oh, yeah. He's got a purple scarf. I think he's supposed to be different than Mega Man, which is kind of weird because that just means that Mega Man's somewhere else being, whoops, not evil, which, I mean, that is typically his state. Although in the comic books, they simultaneously, I believe, made this a separate character and also Mega Man. Because when they did the... I don't remember if it was the storyline for 1 or if it was the storyline for Powered Up. But in one of them, Mega Man got corrupted and then, you know, he put on his... Oh my gosh. He put on, like, the scarf and then they needed to fix him or whatever. No, wait, they might have... Now I'm just confused. I should reread the comics. The comics are pretty good. Like, is there any sign when he's about to frickin' jump? I think he typically does it, like, around... Like, around the middle of the screen a little before, so if I can get him before he reaches there, it should not be a problem. Walk into that for me, baby boo. Walk into that for me. Damn you. I just think there's a lot of issues. He already took one of my lives, didn't he? So I'm in bad shape already. I'm already at a disadvantage. I should have went after Elecman next. Elecman is the only one that takes actual damage from Oil Man. Oh damn it. Guess I'm just neutered. Oh, I'm back. My testaballs have no. Oh. Oh. Do you want to jump into that? Hey, buddy. Oh, he did it. I thought it was gonna fade right as it became an issue again. Thank you. Thank you for walking into... No! Thank you. Ay. Anybody else, it's really just a problem with whoever they're weak to. Really, that's the stumbling block. But because it's Oil Man. Motherfucking Oil Man. Ay. And I don't know if it's been like this for... I have the window open right now because it's actually pleasant outside. Which I was talking to somebody earlier, and we both thought it was a little disturbing because, like, the temperature jumped up, like, right quick. And I don't know if it's going to go down again. I swear that it's been doing that, like, off and on, where it's like, it's a really, really nice day. And now it's, like, borderline freezing again, right? Oh, you don't have icy floors. But even before it got warm again, a terrible thing that I had forgotten about came back into the equation. Granted, this was like a day that I was, you know, it wasn't the biggest deal because this was a day that I was, like, sleeping in. But, like, the one day I was woken up by, like, some jackass with a motorcycle. Someone across the street has one. And I used to like motorcycles, or at least the idea of them, right? Where it's like, maybe one day. I think that'd be fun, you know. They're fuel efficient, and they're pretty cool, and you don't need to worry so much about parking spaces, you know? Like, I park on the street, I need to parallel park. Or somehow, you know, like, fit it in the narrow alleyway into my garage, but with that, I can just walk it anywhere I want. But dear lord, like, as loud as this guy's is... And, like, the other crazy thing... Here's the part where I hope he doesn't overhear me, though if he did overhear me, like, what's he gonna do? He makes a bunch of noise, I'm running my mouth. They're comparable. Honestly, I'd say, you know, his is worse. But, like, I remember there were sometimes he would actually, like, blare music off of his already loud, stinking motorcycle. Like, top volume. I can't believe that. Jump backwards. No! And it's just one of those, like, this guy is going to lose all his hearing by the time the year is over. There we go. Because, you know, you have an obnoxiously loud vehicle, and then you have to play music even more obnoxiously loud so that you can hear it over it. And now I sound like a grumpy old man, although there is, like... I am kind of curious as to why motorcycle engines seem to be so damn loud. Like, if they're actually loud, or if it's one of those things that, like, on the hood of a car, the hood kind of, you know, like, insulates it and, you know, muffles it so that it's not so freaking noisy. But then with, like... There's no hood on a motorcycle, so it's just, you know... It's just unfiltered. You get the full spectrum of things. Which is less than ideal. Oh no, he actually hit me. Man, had I died at the end there and had to redo that entire drawn out fight, that would have been freaking annoying. That's gonna be Fireman. This is going to be... Who didn't I fight yet? Oh, Time Man. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna get some cheap hits in, and he's gonna kill me. Please run into this. I beg of thee. But yeah, I hate that happens. Oh, yeah. I do like not having to wear long pants and having the windows open, so that'll at least be nice. Oh gosh, I screwed up. Oh my goodness, I screwed up. Oh my goodness, I screwed up again. Oh, there he got him. Hang on. Damn it. Why do you suck so much? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, Aaron was around earlier, and we were talking about frickin' Star Fox Zero, of all things. So he says that he kind of wants to play it, but he's more worried about, like, he thinks he might actually like it. And I guess he thinks that that'll offend me somehow, but I was like, no, not really. I think the control scheme is stupid. So if the control scheme just happens to click with him, then I could see one really liking it. Whoops. Okay. I might have an idea for him now. But, like, you know, at the same time, as much as I complain about it, I'm like, yeah, I bet I would tell somebody that, and they'd be like, skill issue. And it's like, it has a dumbass control scheme. Is it a skill issue that I don't have the skills to look at, you know, 2 screens simultaneously? Yes. But is that more on me or more on the people who put, like, the gimmick in and everything? I still feel like I should... at some point, I still probably will try playing that on stream. I don't know if I've ever talked about this. But I actually, you know, I've never beaten Star Fox Zero. I got to, like, the very end. I had Andros, like, 1 hit away from, you know, dying, right? Oh, God. And if you played that game, I hope that's not audible. If you played that game, you know that the final hit on Andros, you need to hit him in, like, the back, right? Every other boss in the game, you know, big glowy weak spot on, like, on the front. Always super obvious. And then, like, the one time they do it is for, like, the final hit. And if it were, like, any other game, I think it'd be, like, one of those, like, oh, it's subverting your expectations at the last minute. But just because it's that one, specifically, I'm just like, oh, yeah. Oh, wow, how clever. How clever. How clever. You broke your own rules at the last minute, and now I need to do this big, dumb, long boss fight all over again. 1 hit from the end, and I died, and I rage quit. And I feel like it takes a lot to get me to rage quit, because I'm stupid and stubborn. I play things for a lot longer than I should. Case in point, I'm still playing Billy Hatcher, even though you know, every time I play it, I'm just like, the hell is wrong with Sonic Team? The hell is wrong with Sonic Team? The real reason Yuji Naka went to jail is because people just played his games, and they knew what he did. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Aaron brought up the fact that it might have just been made by, like, you know, maybe it wasn't all the same people. Maybe it wasn't the people we associate on Team Sonic. Maybe it was the interns of Team Sonic who made stinking... Oh, God. Billy Hatcher. I'm going to die and get game over. And then I'm going to get to do it all over again. Yeehaw! I hate this game so much. But yeah, something, I don't know. Come to think of it, I also rage quit Mega Man and Bass, and that's a freaking Mega Man game. Oh, I can just jump. I don't even need the middle platform. I was like, oh shoot, I thought it was gonna be there, but it's not. Iframes! Yay! Oh yeah. Mega Man and Bass is still one I need to beat at some point because it's like, I think well, it's not a mainline game. But it still feels important enough that I think I should beat it at some point. I don't know. Some people like it. I do not. Oh, I thought I jumped it. I feel like I should quit and try this again. I hate Oil Man so fucking much. Like, I had him in a pattern earlier, and now it's just not working. I could cycle him. Can I cycle him? Well, here's the problem. If I do it now, I still lost a life, so I need to make up for frickin' lost ground. Which is never fun. Oh my gosh. Why did he bounce that way? Who can... Oh my gosh. Oh, aren't you back a little early? Shut up. Old man's kinda pathetic. I think where I was going with that whole thing was just, you know, if I ever talk smack on Oil Man, I know someone's gonna be like, skill issue, and absolutely. I mean, there's a lot to dislike here. There's his design, there's his power. Well. Oy, oy, oy. And anyone else. I would take out the problem child first to make sure that we can get through the rest of it. But so many of the bosses are problems for Oil Man. Who does he do well against? He does well against Elect Man, and that is it. Everyone else, he just kind of hits him with the stinking butter knife. Butter knife being a metaphor because the only one who cuts in this game is Cut Man. Oh. Oh, man. Okay, I almost died there. That's fine, though. Almost died there again. That's fine, though. Oy, oy, oy. I mean, I only have a few more stages left. Actually, this is second to last, isn't it? I guess Fireman's the biggest problem. And honestly, I don't know. I never know whether I want the big commitment jump. I mean, like, you can kind of, sort of go big commitment and then pull back if you don't need the big commitment. Fireman, outside of Mega Man with all of his weapons, is the best Robot Master in this game. Not my favorite, just, like, when it comes to skill set. And that's who the weakest Robot Master in this game needs to fight. Well, they all need to fight, but you know. He's the problem. Okay, we did that with one life. I don't know how much that's gonna matter. Like, half of these other guys, like, I don't think Iceman's gonna be a problem. Electman's not gonna be a problem. Gutsman shouldn't be a problem. Could you back the... Oh my gosh. Back the hell up. I'd say we can start having fun again once the boss rush is done, but, I mean, we still got... Anytime playing Oil Man is not gonna be a good time. We've gotten to the point where I just evolve into insulting him. Which is very easy to do. Because Oil Man sucks. Oil Man is made of... Oh my gosh. Like, the random points where they just... you know, like, they get knockback, but forwards. Which I thought was specifically when, you know, they were turned around. Because knockback always hits them back, even if it hits them in the back. Like, I swear there's some times where it's just still doing it. Even outside of that. Well, about the only one we have any chance of beating. I wonder if it's the same guy doing stinking... Whoops. Revving his engine because he has a small penis. Oy, oy, oy. Fucking compensation. This still isn't doing a lot to Elect Man. Again, probably because I'm supposed to be crashing into him. But... I can't risk crashing into him. It's not going to work well. We did pull some things off against Time Man specifically. Just skimming his head. So it is, like, it is definitely possible. Whoops. Just very difficult, and if they're in the corner, there's, like, no really getting around the fact that you will... stinking... run into them. Walls could be a problem. Like, he's pretty easy to cycle, right? But he hit me once or twice the last time I beat him. And now that I'm only one hit away from death, it's a little frightening. Not because I don't think I can't beat him the next time. It's because I don't want to have to do all this over again, you know? Like, I don't even know how much I'm getting because I think there's, like, gradients on the individual ticks of health. I just don't think I'm doing great. Okay, is there any chance, there is a small chance that I can beat Bomb Man? Not a large one, but a small one. I have 4 chances to beat 4 bosses that are a pain in my ass. Though Bomb Man is the least objectionable of all those bosses, but I just missed with my damned... There we go. He's in the corner. If I can hit him... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, I'm in trouble. Oh goodness. I like how he doesn't throw the bomb, because if he threw the bomb and then tried to jump, I'd have to choose between getting hit by him or his bomb. So the fact that I'm only doing chip damage isn't exactly great. Who did I say I liked better? I think I said I liked the Battle Network version of Bomb Man better. Although I still think I also said that he looked like a generic henchman. I don't feel great about this. I don't feel great about this at all. Honestly, I think Time Man's either going to get a cheap stopwatch off... What do they call them? I think they're called, like, time arrows or something. It's either going to get a cheap one of those off on me, or I'm going to hit him. Okay. It was that. Alright. Biggest problem is going to be not Mega Man. Then it's going to be, okay, I know the order of priority. Oh, damn you. And you're stinking your limes. Oh, God. Why? You weren't supposed to know. We're about... I mean, we were neck and neck, and then he just decided to keep on jumping like a butthole. Oil Man, my gosh. Ay, ay, ay. You'd be easier to strangle than a frickin' infant. Why was that where my brain went? One hit away. And we fucking lived. I don't feel good about either of them. Like, there's a slight chance. Though the problem is, I've figured out that Cutman will jump right before he runs into you, which is good. But then, if he just throws his scissors instead... Okay. I might be able to cycle him. Oh, he hit me, but I didn't die? I thought I was one away. Whoops. Slight chance. Wouldn't bet money on it. Slight chance I can win. Not great. He's freaking posing. I mean, not posing. He's doing his moves, though. He's doing his little dance number. Okay. He's my favorite, so even if he beats my ass, I'm gonna be like, you were doing a great job, bud. You are doing a great job. I can't be mad at him. I can't be mad. Ay, ay, ay. Although, just kind of like a funny story. Ay, ay, ay. I was playing Trivial Pursuit with the family. Or was I playing Trivial? I don't remember if this was the game. It's not important. Family was playing Trivial Pursuit. And whoops. They got a question about the 1001 Nights. That's the whole set of stories, you know, that like Aladdin and a few other, you know, Arabic mythology had, right? And it was like, oh, well, who was the one who told the stories in it? And I was kind of listening in, and I'm thinking, okay. I don't remember the person's name, but I know what her title was. And they didn't get it, so they asked me if I knew, and I was like, well, like I said, you know, like I just said to you. Knew the name, not, you know, well, knew the title, that it was like the guy's wife, but not that it was actually her, right? Well, what her actual name was. So I was like, oh, do you even, like, know the, you know, do you know the premise for 1001 Night? And they didn't. And so then I took, like, the time to explain it. As I remembered it. I might get a few details of this wrong. Nobody come for me. But yeah, the whole thing with like the 1001 Nights is a king, you know, there's a king, his wife cheats on him, he's horrified, he has her executed. But he's pretty messed up with the whole thing. And when I got to this part, I kind of got some nods, and they're like, oh. So I think they thought they knew where, like, the story was going. And I was like, so yeah, so what he decides to do is marry a virgin every night. And then in the morning, he has her executed before, you know, before she can cheat on him. Which was the point where I got, like, some stunned looks, shall we say, right? And then, you know, like I further explained, you know, the whole, you know, the premise to the 1001 Nights is that one woman, like one very brave woman, she says to her father, hey, let me marry the king. And he's like, no, don't do it, you'll die. But she insists, and so she's allowed to do it, right? And what she does is every night, because she knows that this is allegedly going to be her last night, she'll say, hey, you know, before we retire for the night, allow me to see my sister one last time and tell her a story. And what she'll do is she'll start telling a story, get partway through it, and then, you know, the king will be so interested in the story that he lets her live for another night so he can hear the end of it. The next night comes, maybe she finishes the story, maybe it keeps going, but, you know, like, whenever she ends a story, she puts another one in, so there's always something that he still wants to hear. And eventually he does, like, actually fall in love with her and everything, and he's just like, oh, bless you, you've saved me from the monster I had become, and da-da-da, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna do this anymore, I'm not gonna kill my lovely wives. I love you and stuff. But it's still a pretty fucked up tale, isn't it? Still a pretty fucked up tale. Can you get down here? Okay, fine. It's a good thing there's a wall here now. Though, yeah. Ay, ay, ay. It's also one of those things that's probably why some people think that I'm a lot smarter than I am. Oh goodness, oh gracious, I thought it was going to be right here. Because, you know, I don't necessarily know a lot, but sometimes I know just, like, oddball information, and if it's oddball information that other people don't know, if you bring it up in conversation, then you're gonna look smart. Even if it's just because you went through a big mythology phase when you were younger. Like, I used to, oh my gosh, I used to know, like, so much about Greek specifically, which, if there's one mythology most people are gonna know about, it's probably gonna be Greek, right? Oh, goodness. But I do remember, and this was one of those, like, I probably just read too much when I was, like, a kid. But I had, like, one mythology class, right? And it used to do, like, open book tests. And I would, like, do every test just, you know, I wouldn't need to look up the answers. Because it was material I was familiar enough with that it's just like, well, I just happen to know this. And I'd be finished before everyone else, but then again, that kind of makes sense. If everybody else is frantically searching through their books to find out, you know, how Perseus took out the Medusa, I'm hoping I'm not making up names, otherwise I'm going to look like a real fraud here. But, you know, and you just know that it's like the mirror shield and all that, then, you know, you don't need to spend time looking it up. And that's great. My time rate was 0%. But it was, like, also kind of interesting, because in that class, Like, at one point, I got called in by, like, the professor. And this was, like, at a community college, nothing too fancy, but he's, you know, like, I guess he was just, like, impressed with me because he's like, well, you know, if you ever need, like, a recommendation or anything, I'll do that for you. And I was like, I wasn't exactly versed in these things, so it was like, a recommendation for what? And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. And I never took him up on it. But that would have been, like, really good had I ever needed, had I ever done Jack Diddley squat with my life. But now it just sounds like I'm tooting my own damn horn, which maybe I am, I don't know. I've been playing stinking on easy mode all night. Maybe I need a few toots. Maybe just a few things in there, so it's like, you're not worthless. You used to know. I should really, really stinking reread some mythology stuff. I did enjoy it, and it would come back to me. Probably, it'd be like riding a bike. You just, you know, oh, I'm not sure if I remember. Then all of a sudden, it all comes back to you. It's all natural again. I just remember when I was a kid, I had like this huge book of Greek mythology, and I think it was targeted for kids. But, which I think also means that they probably edited some stuff, so it's, you know. Like, I don't remember how they would have phrased it, but I doubt that there was a part where it's like, and then Zeus took the form of a goose, and he had sexual intercourse with this woman against her will, and then she conceived a child. It was probably like, it's probably just like, you know, oh, Zeus took the form of a goose, and then he, you know, he kissed this lady, like they went out on a date, and soon she was with child, and don't question it all that much. Never question it all that much. You are 8. You should not need to be thinking about these things. If you come back with a Greek mythology book from the book fair, and all of a sudden you're asking, you know, you're asking questions about bestiality, maybe there's not one next year. Maybe you ruin the book fair for everyone. Maybe they probably edited it. Which is another reason why it would be fun to reread it, just to be like, I feel like it was one of those things where it didn't really make sense for me as a kid. Like, it's like, oh, well, there's probably more to this. But I don't know it. Thanks to the heroic actions of Oil Man, peace has once again been restored. Even the nefarious Dr. Wily seems to have had a change of heart and is now ready to work for a better tomorrow. But you know. My point is, things probably flew over my head. I probably felt like there were some missing components to the stories back then. But then, like, rereading them as an adult and then them spelling it out was probably like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes that happens. You watch a cartoon show, there's a dirty joke. Mom and dad, they giggle a little bit, and then you know, you watch and you're like, funny cartoon man. They are also laughing at funny cartoon man. And then you rewatch it as an adult and you're like, oh. So probably that. Honestly, I'm kind of sad that I didn't keep up with my mythology phase. I knew a good bit, you know, I knew like most of the Greek stuff. I knew a good bit of Egyptian. A fair bit of Norse, too. And then there was some Celtic and a few other things thrown in there. And of course I know some Japanese Shinto stuff because I'm a huge weeb. And thank you, Rayquaza, thank you. It was literally easy because that was the setting that I put it on. This still took me about 2 hours. I want to say at least, you know, like around a third of it was specifically the boss rush level. But it's done, and I should probably, oh no, I didn't get my final thoughts. Oil Man sucks. Oil Man sucks and I hate him. And he has no right to exist. And I hope he's dead. I'm glad this game isn't mainline canon, so we never need to reference him again. I'm sorry, Time Man, my love, but you are a sacrifice that must be made. Now let me get Wheel of Names ready. Wheel of Names, and let's hope for a good one this time. Megalist.
Let's go.
Where's the Megalist? This is the Megalist. Did I take Oil Man? Did you guys really just knock over my frickin' PSP? Hi. Well, luckily it was plugged in because they popped out the battery. I will fix this later. I could have just put it on the floor. Dear Lord, guys.
Mega Man, powered up.
Okay, copy. Let's get Wheel of Names up. Okay. Oy. Let's see. Scene 2. Scene 2. Awesome. Close the ads. I'm not sponsored. Okay. Oh, that's right. I turned the sound off on the computer, so it doesn't count. Oh. Well, I'll have to make sure that my PlayStation emulator still works, or see if I can get it working on the actual PlayStation, but The Misadventures of Tronbon, which will probably be a twofer? It'll probably be a double week. But yeah, I've been meaning to do a review of that, so playing it again will actually be quite helpful. Oh shoot, I can turn it back over here, can't I? What did I have it on? Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Hey, I didn't play it on this channel, so all of them get cycled again. But yup, Tronbon again. I don't think it was that long since we played it, but it's still been a little while. I will be happy to replay it. Probably. Like I said, I will just have to determine how I'm playing it. But yeah, And I guess I'll hope that no one was gonna guess that. I keep on forgetting to do that. My gosh. I also was gonna bring up the whole poll thing, but that's more relevant for, for Fire Emblem. So if you think of it, Rayquaza, remind me to bring up the whole poll situation, like YouTube polls, on Tuesday when we do Fire Emblem again. Unless I move it to Wednesday, in which case bring it up then. But yeah, I think that'll do it for tonight. I wish I could say it was fun, but it never is with Oil Man. Like, it's not good. It's not good. But yeah, the plan for next week will be Fire Emblem either Tuesday, or maybe I'll move it back to Wednesday so I can talk about the Direct. I need to check and see if anybody else wants to join me to talk about it, so that might be a determining factor. And then next Saturday will be the Misadventures of Tronbon, which will be delightful. Oh, YouTube polls for what game I'm gonna play next. I have some plans on that, but that's more related to, like, the Fire Emblem time slot, or what's the Fire Emblem time slot now. So I was going to discuss that. So if you think of it, remind me when we play Fire Emblem next to bring up the whole poll thing, okay? And if you don't, I'll remember myself one of these nights. I'll have my head screwed on right. Oh yeah, you said about it's kind of similar to Shin Megami Tensei, but like action, right? Yeah, I still need to play Persona 5. But I'm sure I'd like those games. But goodness, I have so much to play. But yeah. I'm glad that that worked out. You know, I'm glad that worked out for you, though surely you can hope for some Fire Emblem action on the Switch too. Surely they haven't forgotten about it just because Engage didn't do as well. But yeah, with that, if there's nothing else, I'll probably start wrapping up here. So thanks anybody who stopped in to watch. Thanks anybody who checked out the VOD. If you enjoyed this, maybe consider subscribing and checking out my main channel, Explosion, which is linked on the front of this one. I do scripted videos over there, mostly, although tomorrow is a bit off the cuff. So I'm a bit better spoken, typically. Like I said, plan for next week is Fire Emblem, then Mega Man, and yeah, that'll do it. Thanks again. Rayquaza, I appreciate you hanging out. If anybody else stuck around, I appreciate you too. But yeah, that'll do it. So have a lovely, lovely, lovely evening. Good night. Oh yeah. I would definitely play it. I would definitely play a remake. I could maybe do it on stream. We'll figure it out then. Good night.